your breath on that one, right? I'd be solo casting right now.
Yeah, it's just Alex Garfield has like a schedule, and he puts in like, oh, it's been 3 months since I've been teasing the Counter-Strike community. Maybe it is time again to just put it out there. But all right, welcome to the show here, ladies and gentlemen. This is Copenhagen Wolves versus NIP. Best of 3 game for the Fragbite Masters. This is the consolidation match. Loser goes to lower, winner goes to upper. And Freiburg and Pyjamas start off great here on the terrorist side. So this is about as good as it can get. Cajun with a bit of a return. Nico trying on the ladder, which is not the greatest idea in the world, but it's pretty brave, and he's going to continue to attempt it. He loses Cajun B, and now... well, there was really nothing to do at that point. So great start for NIP with Freiburg and a triple.
Yeah, Freiburg really taking point on that A site, and that's what we're talking about. We need to see Freiburg actually getting those entry frags for his team. So him taking point on that, getting 3 kills and an assist. Also, really well done there by Forrest out in yard, because he's the one who actually tagged Nico down to 17 HP. So, Nico not really able to have much of a presence to help his mates on that upper site stop that push coming in, because Forrest just tagged most of his life off right off the bat. So now we get to see, a pistol round coming out here. No Kevlar helmet picked up for Copenhagen Wolves, so they are willing to stick to just the guns.
Yeah, so fast pushing that round through hot and in through CT main. So sandwiching in whoever was down on the low ground, and then, preventing anyone else from really joining in on the bomb site. Just a really simple idea, in fact, from NIP. Forrest, though, he's a ninja, but he's making a lot of noise, and he's actually going to get found as well. I feel like this would have been a much better play if Forrest hadn't been thunderfooting all the way.
It's just, it's also timing, right? Yeah, sure, he's running in there, but at the same time, it's just like the guy's in vents, right? That's the best place to be.
Yeah.
He's going to spot him out. If the guy isn't in vents, he probably flanks the guys out on ramp.
Yeah, but if someone had been holding a little bit further back on ramp, they would have already heard him running in, so... I feel like, I don't know, I think Forrest, he only had a pistol, so I think he didn't feel like he had a lot to lose, and in a sense he's right. And Pyjamas is going to pick it up a little bit. Runs into Nico, though, and actually does go down. Got to be careful about that. Nico drops to Freiburg, but still way too much trading going on here for NIP. They got to stabilize. They're a man down. They do have the health advantage, but they can't really afford to throw this round away.
No, they've only got 30 seconds left as well. Pimp has got a rifle to work with. He's on this lower side already at the doors. Smoke is going to go down to block off the window. But there's still a man in vents, two men in vents now, and Get Right gets flanked out by Pimp through that smoke. This is a catastrophe for Nip. It has to come down to Get Right. Spray on one, runs out of bullets, gets the other one though. Are you kidding me? Freiburg, he's so close. He's got that Glock, but Pimp has only got 17 HP. Freiburg stays alive. He goes for the reload.
Yeah, and there's no kit on Pimp, so actually so much time's already been wasted. He's going to get the kill, and... I think there's enough time as well. Copenhagen Wolves, they come in with it. Pimp and a quad kill. NIP throwing away a big round.
Oh my god. Yeah, exactly.
That is... This was going to be NIP's time to take the first 3 rounds, which would have set them up to basically get half the rounds they needed.
Copenhagen Wolves just pulled a Titan, pretty much. Like an old Titan.
Yeah.
Or an old Very Games, right? Winning that second round on Nuke.
Now that really giddy play from Forrest, running all the way up there and getting shot in the back eventually, it turns out to be really costly. Because even with just a pistol, at the end, you just need people alive. It turns out much worse than it seemed at first.
Yeah, a little bit hesitant play up in ramp as well for Florin going in alone, not with a mate to back him like that. So him getting picked off free. Pimp as well, picking off Freiburg. Upper, I believe. No, not Freiburg. Who was it that was upper? I think it was Get Right. Still, Pimp gets 4 kills in that round. So, it was just...
Yeah.
It's
now,
still
the one thing that NIP had going for them that round that meant it wasn't a complete failure was that they did save the 2 smoke grenades going into the B bomb site. That's something worth looking out for as we go into the later stage of this game. We're just waiting on a few technical issues here, but later on, if you go for the B bomb site, you kind of have to have some smokes left, at least one to just put the bomb down, because without that smoke, it's almost suicide unless you have like a 2 or 3 man advantage. But without it, you're gonna have to find another bomb site essentially. With NIP, they do force it up. They get the bomb down, so probably that's what made the difference here. 2 Galils, 1 AK.
Yeah. Florin taking the hit for his team as well. I think he just dropped the gun for his mate. So for Florin kind of running in, he's going to be the lemming here. He's just going to run around, see if he can't get out somewhere. Forrest getting tagged down to 11 HP isn't going to help things, though. Nico from Garage is actually managing to do quite a bit of damage. Drops him down to 11. That's not going to help things here for Nip, but they still keep alive. Nico goes for the shot, but Exist finds the headshot first, and there's the entry frag for Nip.
Yeah, but look how much HP they've lost. Taking that scout down is kind of good, but...
Yeah, there's still rifles. There's still 4 rifles alive for Copenhagen Wolves and 4 full HP CTs running around on this map. And Nip, Freiburg, he's just going to go ahead and try and put some shots through, see if he can't bait out a reaction.
Copenhagen Wolves, even with a man down, they still sort of, the defense is still intact. They've just become a little bit more of a narrow circle, but they've all just, rotated, a few steps back, and now they're still holding pretty much every bomb site. Get Right is going to be flashing his way in through the ceiling, and then can they actually go for this? I'm not sure this is such a great idea for NIP, because it's still going to be really tough, and Kerrigan come out of the vents quick, and Pimp is not in a bad position. He's not going to get flashed, turns around again. NIP try to go for it, but look how quick Kerrigan is up. That's the bomb drop, and now only 15 seconds left here.
Oh, no.
Forrest kills Freiburg, so that's going to lose them some money too. And, well, it's just existing Get Right here, but they are in a 2-on-1. They can maybe drop Cajun here. He's coming in from behind, and they'll put down the bomb with just a few seconds left, so really close round here, but NIP have the advantage.
Oh, until Cajun steps in, and he's actually going to get picked up. Get Right picking up that AK just as he rounds the corner.
And that was probably should have been a bit of a free kill there for the Copenhagen Wolves player.
Yeah,
Get Right surviving on 1 health, but I mean it's back and forth, and NIP bring it back into the driver's seat. This is pretty exciting because what are Copenhagen Wolves going to do? Well, actually they're just going to buy 1 max 7, and that's it. So they're willing to eat the eco here, more or less.
Yeah, and this, I think, is smart because, well, they just have too many guys who are low on money right now. Pimp has quite a bit of money. He still has like 3 grand left over after the swag, but so he's going to find the first one. Forrest will pick up Nico, and this is just going to spin out of control here. Nip should be able to control this very well. Pimp, however, strong position. This is NBK's position pretty much, although NBK plays ramp now, I think, for LDLC, but used to be that you'd see NBK kind of floating around with the swag towards Hut. This is definitely JW's position. That's what we'll say, but JW usually gets a kill, unlike Pimp.
And looking good here for the CT, or for the terror side, sorry. Picking up 3 kills, not losing anyone yet. And money on the terror side is definitely very interesting as well. So, Glaive going to go down as the last, and just a nicely handled round here from NIP. Not really giving anything up, waiting and actually letting Copenhagen Wolves come to them. That's what you want to do. And now the question is, they actually still don't have a lot of money here, so NIP could be off to an even better start than if they had just won the pistol. That's what we're witnessing right now.
Yeah, bouncing back and actually going for the force buy and making it work. That's best case scenario for Nip after losing the second round.
Yeah, because normally they would have maybe been a 3 and then Copenhagen Wolves. I mean, this is pretty interesting. This could be a 4th round already.
And then they have a buy round to go in up against Copenhagen Wolves, but if they win that, it spins completely out of control and Nip run away with this half. They could be looking at 6 rounds potentially if they were to win a buy.
Yeah.
So this is a big opportunity here for Nip. They're really pacing themselves as well, but Glaive is going to sneak up the radio, and there's Pimp, the double flank. That was perfect there by Copenhagen Wolves.
It definitely was. The bomb dropped inside that hut, and what are they going to do about it? Gerard's fallen back. He's waiting for backup to come in, but are the Wolves going to come in again and strike? They're still waiting really close behind radio here. Got Cajun just trying to hold in Glaive. He can spot anyone coming in, and then they got Kerrigan on the other side. He's going to go down to Get Right, though, and Get Right will pick up a 2nd kill on Cajun, so that's looking pretty good for NIP, but it's still that 3-on-3 situation, and they've got plenty of time. At least they have that going for them.
Exactly, and I really like this by Copenhagen Wolves as well. Rather than force the issue, they're just going to fall back onto the site because they know that Nip need to come to them. They have a tentative shot there put through. Get Right only with 20 HP, so Glaive, if you got a headshot through there, Get Right would be gone. But this is still very smart here from Copenhagen Wolves. Force the clock and make sure that Nip have to walk into them.
Notice the big difference here on the grenades on NIP, because they're walking into ramp room with 20 seconds left. If they go for B right now, they won't have that smoke that we were talking about, and we'll have to see if that's going to make a big difference. I, for one, am a little bit worried about this for NIP's point of view, because planning without a smoke is not easy. 9 seconds left here. He's planning out in the middle of nowhere here. Glaive going to try and take the fight. It's still a 2-on-2. The bomb does go down, but look at how quick. If Nico had been there 1 second earlier, that would have been a disaster. And now Fiflaren is in a 1-on-1 against Glaive, and he's trying to hide, and he's actually over in the vent. So this is good movement from Fiflaren. If Glaive has a triple already, and he's going to have to go for the quad. He fakes it once, but does Fiflaren realize there's no kit here? He's thinking about it. Now he knows no time yet.
Yeah, Fiflaren can make noise all he wants. Doesn't even really have to peek, doesn't even have to take this fight. Glaive trying to make a getaway. He's going to find Fiflaren.
Yeah, and will survive the bomb as well. So that's a quad kill from Glaive, but not a round win. And it definitely could have been if Nico 1 second earlier down that ramp, and they would have been caught planting without the smoke, and that's a big issue. This was an eco round from Copenhagen Wolves, so now they have still a lot of money. They can force it up here, but can't really deny that NIP are off to a pretty decent start.
Yeah, despite a bumpy one there in the second round. Yeah, they're still fighting back into this, and now Nip have a full buy going into this round. They're looking very good. They still have money to keep buying as well after this one. Copenhagen Wolves are the ones who are on the ropes right now. If they were to lose this round, they'd have to eco again. There just isn't enough bank on their side, even after that round of eco. So we have to see something clever coming here from Copenhagen Wolves, but that's not really their style. They don't go for the aggression on the CT side. They just hold the angles, and look at this position here. Forrest, he lights up the first one. There is Pimp, however, with the double frag.
Yeah, and that's huge. He actually gets away. If he had stayed up there, probably Forrest would have taken him down. Now Nico going to take down Get Right. This was such a great entrance from NIP, but Copenhagen Wolves really good with the return. Pimp on 1 health. And Nico ready to strike if anyone was going to peek up. That bomb is planted, but how long is that going to be true? Flaren will pick up 2 great kills, and somehow, while he's still alive, the Molotov is going to force him out a little bit. He's got to be careful. 12 health left. He's hiding at the edge of the smoke. But they're coming for him, and they do have the kit here. Even though Pimp's on 1 health, Flaren is going to go down. That's Nico with a double, and they should... Well, they could have just let Pimp defuse here. A little bit scary, but there's going to be time for it just. So, Copenhagen Wolves, they only barely win the round. And I mean, the really fun thing about what NIP did is that was really not an elaborate play. That was just some basic stuff. They put down the smoke, they flashed their way through the smoke, and they just caught Copenhagen Wolves completely off guard. Very nicely done.
Yeah, upper rush. And 2 out through Squeak, and that was Pimp. I'm wondering if NIP are going to notice that Pimp always plays rafters. Like, always plays catwalk or dog walk. Every single time you can count on him being upper rafters on that upper site. So, I mean, I'm curious if NIP are going to count on that, or if Forrest picking up the first guy, if they were like, okay, there's Pimp, right? Or you know, maybe looking into it, but it's not like it's a secret that Pimp just loves to play on upper. So
yeah. It's kind of hard because once you know, what are you gonna do about it?
I mean, he's every single time he's going to be cat or dog. So I'm curious if NIP know that. I mean, NIP are going to be able to go for another buy here, and this is where it really gets dicey for Copenhagen Wolves, because they're not out of the woods yet.
It's kind of interesting to, instead of like being a little bit scared of Nico out here, they just go hunting for him, and Freiburg's going to pick up that kill, so pretty nicely done. And Nico missing a couple of opportunities to kill someone who was up on the marshmallow there. Cajun's going to pick up the AWP instead, and does realize Freiburg's out there. Misses the second shot. Actually can't get that one either. Now, finally going to take that kill on Forrest. Rotates back around, and is going to take down Freiburg. That's a pretty cute reaction. Great play from Cajun B. Is going to leave NIP a man down for a moment.
Yeah, and then Exist steps in and picks off Kerrigan on long. This is going to open things up for the lower site. Bomb is still up in yard, however, here. So NIP, they have to work their way in. Flash in. Is Flaren going to check the right angle? He does not. He looks right. I mean, it's a 50-50 guess. You look right or you look left, and that time it does not work out.
Again, no smoke. So they're down in the B bomb site. Great. But the lack of smoke, it is really not fun at all. And with just 13 seconds left, Get Right's actually going to go for the A bomb side. He checks the corner, checks the other one. Does he spot it? Pimp is there, and he's going to take him down, and that will end the round. Absolutely nothing Exist can do. So kind of unfortunate for NIP being in a decent spot, but no time, and that's it.
Pimp living on 1 HP. This is Cajun. Cajun basically saves his team.
Yeah.
This is it. This play right here, him living with 3 HP, saves his team. And Pimp living with 1 HP as well. So, I mean, Copenhagen Wolves, they locked down that round, but that was definitely risky business there. That was way too close for comfort. Because if they lose Cajun, if they lose Pimp, NIP will walk out of that round alive. So it was a very touch-and-go situation there for the CT side. But NIP willing to go for a buy, and Freiburg with the deagle takes out Nico, the headshot.
Yeah, the 1 deke comes in. Glaive will get the return kill, but that's an AWP down that they got to try and see if they can rescue for the next round. And Forrest is also out here, and there's still an AK on Exist, so this will be truly disastrous for Copenhagen Wolves if they end up losing an anti-eco.
Oh, that would be huge. Oh, Kerrigan's going to catch Exist trying to peek around with that AK. So there's the rifle gone for NIP. I mean, risky play. Flaren, he's going to get the rotation here, but Pimp is going to assassinate him. That's it. Done. And Forrest is now the last man alive, trying to work his way around through Garage. Looks for the dig, but he's not going to get it. Glaive will shut him down. And we're into a 4-on-4 situation now, or rather 4-2-4, as far as the rounds are concerned. But Copenhagen Wolves, this time much better performance from them.
And nobody succeeded in saving an AWP that round. They had to rebuy it. Glaive had to spend a lot of money doing that, which is weird because they were actually out in Garage. They couldn't save it. It was apparently too far away. So that's kind of a big misstep for Copenhagen Wolves. The one thing, I mean, apart from winning the rounds, which they're doing now, they still got to come out of these rounds with a lot of money. They got to make absolutely sure that if ever NIP win another round in this first half, then it won't even come close to threatening them economically. Nico changing up his position, and he actually hasn't been that great out in this courtyard yet.
No, he hasn't. And well, I mean, again, that could also be attributed to just 6 shots from Nip's side, right? Because Forrest and Freiburg have really been giving him a pretty rough time.
But he's had the opportunities, and he's going to fall down and take a lot of damage just from the gravity, man.
Gravity's
a powerful force.
She's a cruel mistress. No mercy. Well, at the same time, I mean, Nico, questions of consistency always come up with him. Either he plays like a god, or sometimes he just misses these shots. A bit like Delpan. You kind of got to wonder sometimes.
Yeah, and again, they sneak really close by here. Get right waiting to boost someone up. Someone's going to come in and do that. Could be a fun strat for NIP if they can boost up close and get, I mean, really just hunt for Nico. That seems to be the play outside. The smoke goes in, and there's not a lot of time here for NIP to make a move. 30 seconds, and they are man down as well, and Exist only has a pistol. It's going to be, I mean, they have 1 grenade on Forest. I'm not sure this is going to be doable for NIP.
This is not going to be successful. I mean, Nico's just going to go down to lower as well. He's got that AWP now. He could get flanked, though, but then Pimp turns around.
Yeah. 10 seconds, 9 seconds. Good attempt here for NIP. They get a couple of entry frags. Get right coming in, but Freiburg fakes the bomb once, and that actually means there's no chance any longer. So Pimp with a really good triple kill. Still, they do a lot of damage. They're a man down. They managed to kill 3 members. And, you know, make Copenhagen will spend some of that money. But without the bomb plant, they can't buy. With it, they would have been able to. So now it's 5-4, and Copenhagen will take the round lead. And they do spend a lot of money on the Danish side, though.
Yeah.
That's really the most important thing here.
They had 3 guys floating kind of around a respectable funds, you know, 4,000 or so. They had 2 guys up around like the 8,000-9,000 mark, right? But now it's kind of evened out. So Copenhagen Wolves, they're still not out of the danger yet. You know, that's the thing. If they can actually get a good, solid anti-eco round in here and actually keep all 5 members alive, then Copenhagen Wolves are going to be feeling much better about the situation.
These flicks from Nico are the ones that we're sort of expecting him to really hit. So, I mean, the fact that he isn't, maybe it's just like a warm-up thing, but he's got to step it up because that's his role on this team. That's his strength. And
well, they need to be able to count on him to shut down Yard. Like, this needs to be an impassable position. Like, they can't be winning duels versus him or managing to stay alive for nearly ever. Nico finally lands a shot on Exist, takes him out.
Yeah, if this was Dignitas we'd be watching, it would be Fetish who was out in the courtyard.
Yeah, and
doing
Fetish,
crazy things. And I mean, he's not the normal AWPer on Dignitas, but for some reason on Nuke, he just has like a special talent. So
yeah, he comes alive.
That's fun times.
It's really entertaining to watch Fetish up.
Pimp was actually top fragging at 16 kills, so 11 rounds into the game, or just starting on the 11th round. That's pretty impressive from Pimp, who's actually not always, I would say, the most consistent player, but I mean, right now he's stepping it up quite a bit and doing really well. So 6-4, and Copenhagen Wolves Hub, they're starting to get some wins, the wins in their sails here. NIP, 4 rounds could actually still work for them, but I think 5 is, then you're feeling really safe.
If they could pick up 5, that would be very good. I mean, 5 or 6, and they're not there. I mean, they're not done yet. If they could win a 5th round, Copenhagen Wolves, their money is going to still be a little shaky. So, looks like it's going to be a bit of a ramp play here this time around. Cajun just going for the mad spray. Not going to do that much damage, though. He has to give up ramp, but that's a smart play to make. Gives position. I mean, he just gives up the position so that Nip can get in there, but he stays alive and falls back to that site, and he's going to be in a position to get the headshot here as they round the corner. Get Right has to be quick.
Yeah, oh, but it's actually Freiburg coming in. That's a pretty nice angle. And Get Right will take down Nico coming through the vent, so this is looking a whole lot better right now for NIP. Flash comes in, and Glaive is going to be able to make it down there, but the bomb is going to go down any second, and there it is. Pimp trying for a backstab. That's a 2nd kill from Carrigan in the round, but he's almost dead. Pimp loses the fight to Get Right. That might lose the round overall for Copenhagen Wolves. Get Right with 3 kills in this round. Definitely a very good performance from him here. Carrigan trying his best to do a little bit more damage, but he can't really win the round anymore.
No, especially with the man waiting in Toxic like that. Get Right's going to be able to back off, get into a position to be able to hold on to his gun despite his low health. But Florin kind of needs to follow suit here, and that's what Kerrigan's waiting for. He's going to try and get those exit frags, basically. So Exist will get the shot fast enough. The bomb isn't going to go up before he can get away. Oh, it just barely does. All right, but still, Nip hold on to 2 guns, and as far as Nip are concerned, that's all they care about. That's the important bit right here. Look at the money evaporate on the Danish side. They have none left after this round. Nico actually has to skimp on the helmet. There's only Glaive with 2,000, and that's because he managed to save that gun the 1 round.
Yeah, 6-5 is... I mean, I still think even at 4 rounds, NIP would have gone into the second half thinking, we can do this. We're ready for it. But at 5 rounds, I think NIP are feeling pretty good about themselves. Copenhagen Wolves got to make sure that this just ends as like a good half for NIP and not as a fantastic half, which can still happen. If they lose this round, NIP bounce themselves to 7 rounds, and that's just out of control at that point. Kerrigan going for a cool little flank going up the secret passageway here, which is nice, because NIP haven't really had to deal with that yet, so they might not be expecting it, but they're not out here, so it doesn't really matter. Molotov maybe a second too late, because they still make it through. Pimp's going to take down one, and then he gets thrown into the fire. He just started. Nico up here. Can't really find a good entrance. He's going to get grenaded back. Cajun's picked up Exist, so it's still a 3-on-3. And the bomb is actually stuck over at the hut. So NIP, they're in position, but they don't have the equipment with them. They forgot why they were here. Kind of like getting to the supermarket and forgot the shopping list at home. Forrest now in a 1-on-2, and they're controlling the bomb. So how is he going to get out of this one without grenades and with only half health?
He's not. I mean, 30 seconds here. Now we have to see. Nico's just playing it very safe. Cajun B only needs to sit on this bomb. And now Forrest has to land the shot of his life, basically. He makes some noise over at Squeaky. He's just going to try and draw the attention out. But this is such a difficult position. He's going to walk. I mean, too many angles to check. And that's the worst part there, is that Nip, they leave the bomb behind in hut. And Copenhagen Wolves, because of Cajun B pushing up from ramp like that, manages to get on top of it. At that point, as soon as Cajun B is on top of that bomb, Copenhagen Wolves can completely set up around that information. And it just becomes an impossible situation for a 1v2. Too many angles to be looking at in lobby to be able to just, you know, get in there. That's why it has to be just this impossible shot that Forrest has to land, because he has to get lucky and be looking right at Cajun as he rounds the corner.
Well, now Forrest has picked up an AWP, which is kind of exciting. I mean, NIP are showing us, unlike a map like Overpass where we saw a lot of the same, I feel like NIP are really trying a lot of different things, including trying to get Forrest up here, which he should be incredibly good at, considering how much time he spends serving.
He is usually pretty good at it, that's the thing.
So potentially Forrest versus Nico out of the courtyard. Considering how much Nico's been missing the shots, it's not such a bad idea for NIP to try and go for it.
This position here by Cajun, though. Oh, Kerrigan steps in. Kerrigan with a double kill, though, picking up Biflarn and Get Right. It's going to be Forrest alive out here in yard on the hunt for Nico. He was looking upper, sees the man peeking, gets into garage, and he gets legged.
Down to 17. No fun at all here.
And Nico playing it so safe as well. He's like, okay, no need to re-peek. I don't need to look out here. He's going to look to see if it's going to be garage. Flash goes out, but again, look at that. You know, they're just playing it so patiently right now, Copenhagen Wolves. This is going to force Nip's hand. They're down to 30 seconds here, and they still haven't gotten onto a site or anywhere near it. I mean, they might end up having to go for a main rush, but it looks like they're going to decide to go lower.
Yeah, and again, the Swedes are very low on grenades, so where are they gonna take this? I mean, even if you do go for the A-bomb side, it's still kind of nice to have a couple of smokes left just to waste time for the CTs to get in, and we can throw them up heaven or something like that. But I know NIP are using all their grenades, so they don't have any to start with. Freiburg's going to make his way in here, and already there's a couple of people guarding him, so the one flash they have goes out. 5 seconds left, and they can't actually get the bomb down any longer. It's too late. So Exist here, time runs out, now he has to stay alive. And he's going to be able to do that. So that's pretty good news after all. 8-5 though, and we're into the 14th round. This could still finish 10-5 in favor of Copenhagen Wolves, which would be all right for them. I think they're going to be... both teams kind of satisfied, more or less, if they get out of that raid.
They still... well, let's see. I mean, still just barely having enough to get the full buy together here. Copenhagen Wolves are spending everything they've got, really managing to bounce those rifles around to make sure that people get full nades. Again, Exist goes for a pressure buy, though. Or actually, no, he survived the last round. My mistake. I mean, it's going to be a hard eco coming out from Nip, so that makes sense. I was about to say, like, if Exist actually did this, I mean, he's done it in the past with AWPs, but...
yeah, a little bit too much to try and expect there. Oh, and actually no kill happening there. Was a nice attempt just rushing around the corner, but 9-5. Really cool round picked up here by Copenhagen. Was not dropping anybody, so yeah, they're going to have full grenades and everything else going into the last round of the first half here. It's the 15th one, and NIP going for... AKs all around. Exist, yeah, because he went down with the Galil, and because he survived the other round, he actually doesn't have the money for it. He's been cheated out of one win bonus here. That's the problem.
Copenhagen playing this very well, and I like this forward position here by Cajun. This could potentially catch Nip off guard if only Nip weren't waiting out in yard. Get Right's going to be the lurker here, extraordinaire, but Nico's already picked off Biflarn to start. Smoke into main, though. This could actually make Copenhagen Wolves ask some questions. Get Right's going to pick up one. And Glaive just waiting right around the corner. He's almost going to get Pimp as well.
Yeah. And at least Nico finally landed a shot out here. So, I mean, there's still some stuff working for Copenhagen Wolves. And because they're now moving up into the lobby, they get a lot of information. And the smoke wall that was going outside should be like the final clue for Copenhagen Wolves to say, all right, the rest of the NIP members almost have to be sneaking down low. And that's why Cajun is in position right here. So good communication and just generally... you know, good map knowledge coming up from Copenhagen Wolves. No big surprise, but it's nice to see them being able to communicate as well as they do right here. Cajun in the back is going to make it really tough for NIP. They probably aren't expecting him to already be in this position. So, yeah, they smoke it off, and they're going to try and put the foot down, but first kill coming in. Bomb will be planted, and look how they're just rushing in here. Cajun picks up a second one, and now it's actually a one-on-one. He's got very few bullets, and so does Forrest, who's just trying to hide. He's got a smoke Cajun, so he could actually smoke off one vent, but defusing is not so easy. He's going to fake it once. Forrest waiting still. He's going to walk in, and Cajun picks it up. That's a great double kill, and that makes it 10-5. A huge round for NIP if they could have won it. That would have been a big difference. 9-6 and 10-5, that's quite a big gap between those two results.
On Nuke, it makes a big difference as well.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to get T-sided rounds. I'm not really sure about Forrest. They're peeking at the end. It's just the mind games at that point. And he's thinking that Cajun might be just camping that bomb, not going for the defuse, but waiting for him to peek, because you could see he was pre-aiming the bomb. And he had to be like, oh, double take right back over to him, but wasn't able to react fast enough there. Forrest could have just waited for another tap on that bomb just to get confirmation as to where Cajun was set up. It's a little bit of a mistake there at the end, but now we go into the pistol round here of the second half, and it's going to be Copenhagen Wolves sitting on 10 rounds and NIP on 5. And not too much gear picked up by NIP either. They go Freiburg, it's actually standard for him to go for kit. He's their usual kit man. The rest of them going Kevlar, except for Fiflaren, who's got that 5.7.
Yeah. I would say if NIP win this round, I think there's a really good chance they win the map too. Then they're going to be well on their way. If Copenhagen Wolves win it, I don't think that means they win the map. I just think that makes them favorites here. But Freiburg is going to shut down Cajun. There is 2 smokes on the CT side, on the terrace side here on Copenhagen Wolves, which would have made me think that a B play was more likely. But right now they're kind of stuck towards Squeak. Are they going to try and go down the vent really quick? Could be.
I think it's going to be an upper play very quickly here. They had the smokes down to block off Maid, but Freiburg is still alive at the back of the site, just barely staying in here. But the longer he can stay alive, the better. Final shot goes to him, and a triple kill for Freiburg. No Kevlar, just a P2K, and he gets the job done for Nip. There it is, 6 rounds now on the board here for Nip, and they've got all the guns. And Exist is picking up the Pro 90. That's interesting. Usually Get Right's been picking that up, actually, in recent times.
There's some very clean kills coming in from Freiburg here.
3 headshots. Clean as it gets.
10-6. You gotta wonder.
And there's that sound, you're just like, yeah, like it clean.
I do. Smooth. It's what we need. None of this crazy nonsense. Just get in and get the job done and get out. Copenhagen Wolves, though, they buy pistols in this round, but there's no armor, and they didn't get the bomb down. So you gotta, if they'd just ecoed with Glocks entirely, it would have been likely they could have gone for a 3rd round buy. But because they got by the pistols here, I think they're just trying to give themselves like a slight edge. See if they could catch someone off guard, maybe surprise a person. But so far, it's not been working out too well for them.
Yeah, do some damage here. If Florin gets overwhelmed, however, they managed to get the crossfire on him. In fact, it's going to be Exist going for the flank now, but 2-on-3 situation. Copenhagen Wolves actually have 2 FAMASas picked up as well, and they're going to get down onto that lower site. So now it becomes difficult here for Nip to stop this. Exist has got the perfect weapon to deal with this, though, because there's no Kevlar on Copenhagen Wolves. So with the Pro 90 and like infinite bullets, he could shut this down. But it looks like Overwatch here, and they're going to go for this plant. There's Exist, spots out the first guy, tries to just spray, and that wasn't pretty.
Pretty far from ideal. Luckily, Get Right can, show you how to spray if you ever need to know. But yeah, that was a bit underwhelming, and way too many rifles lost for NIP, considering it wasn't armor or anything on the Sarah side. So 3 rifles lost and a bomb plant. The Copenhagen Wolves, I wouldn't be surprised if they force it up in this upcoming round.
I actually wanted to see a replay of Exist's spray there, because I could have swore he was trying to like 80-80 Pro 90 spray, and I was like, you can't do that anymore, Exist.
Here's the buy from Copenhagen Wolves. So yeah, that 1 bomb plant secures them everything. And the fact is, if they win this round, NIP is going to be straight ecoing. So there's a lot on the line here for both teams to see if they can make it work.
Not a whole lot of gear here for Copenhagen Wolves, though. Very limited nades, 3 smokes. 2 of their guys are running around with nadeless. So this is all going to come down to the rifle fire for them here. And if they can get the crossfire set up here, Nip, Exists supporting from main. It's going to be Get Right holding out in yard. This is his usual position. Goes for the spray at long range. Gets the support from Forrest. And it's just looking perfect here for NIP. Get Right just laying waste. Freiburg is here as well. One guy has managed to sneak his way into main. This could be a big opportunity. Freiburg needs to turn around. But Exist has got his back. And it's just down to Kerrigan. Only that he takes a bullet to the face. Get Right. I mean, that was actually just like a blast from the past right there. Get Right and Forrest working in tandem outside in the yard. Just shutting down a push single-handedly nearly.
That worked really well, and even more importantly, they all survive. So Copenhagen Wolves are ecoing, NIP get a chance to build their economy. And this is the point in time when Copenhagen Wolves had better had, you know, some sick strat that they've been, you know, waiting to use on the terror side. They got to come up with something cool here. Because I think the standard play, I think NIP is going to come out in the long run on this particular map. Flaren, Forest gets the opening shot, and actually Pip will return a little bit, but then Forest has the control. 4 kills.
Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, really impressive there by Forest. Spray control for 3 kills is not too shabby, but here we go. The big buy round coming in for Copenhagen Wolves. Everybody going into it. Full nades across the board. Nico has got that AWP. It's only glass cannon, though, so it's not ideal, but he's still going to be looking to find that pick shot. And we're going to see where he decides to set up. If he's going to go straight out into yard, or if he tries to get cheeky and look towards ramp. But it does look like it's going to be the yard play here for him. No AWP here for Nip, however. It's going to be Get Right holding, but a forward smoke going down by Get Right, and he gets down into secret. This is really tricky.
Yeah, most definitely is. And Nico's still attempting to jump over here. With the AWP, he's going to make it up. So it'd be nice if he could find someone to open up the round with here, but they're not really showing themselves. NIP had that one round just before where they were super aggressive out here, and now they're back into a different position. And that's about the best they can do. As long as they keep rotating the CT setup so much that Copenhagen Wolves never really pick up on a pattern, well, they're doing a good job.
Yeah, Freiberg holding from Cat, his usual position as well, though he does change it up sometimes, but still. Freiberg knows how to lay waste from there. It's going to be Get Right, however, picking up Cajun B, and that's the first frag, the entry frag going for Nip. And when Nip gets entry frags, the Kings reign supreme. And now it's just a whole lot of sneak happening here for Copenhagen Wolves. I like Glaive's position. He could potentially actually open things up if Nip decided to drop down into the vents. If he could pick up a frag, and there you go, finds Get Right. Second man right below him, and it's going to be Pimp picking up Fiflar, and this is into a 3-on-2 now as Pimp picks up a double frag.
And Glaive with a follow-up shot, just all crumbling for NIP in the last seconds of this round. And it's just that it's like the other vent is just somehow more appealing at this point.
Yeah, it's too hot. Oh, look at Nico, though.
Yeah.
Nico, do you really try and drop down on him? Feels like it's a huge risk.
It kind of is. That AWP is pretty valuable. There's not much Exist could do here.
He gets shot by his own mates. They're wired tight right now, Copenhagen Wolves. You know, usually the pack, you know, it's like one mind, right? You know where everybody is. This pack is a little distracted.
Well, Nico's going to spot him, and a leg shot comes in. It doesn't kill him somehow, and Exist will find the follow-up kill. I'm not sure there's enough time anymore, but that's still a lot lost here. And Exist, not sure he's going to survive the bomb explosion at this range. He's going to have to get further away. He survives on one. Not a ridiculous round, but that is... Well, it's NIP losing the round, and Copenhagen Wolves do make it to 11, but how does he not go down after getting shot down to 16 in a 1-on-2?
I just love Nico, though. He's just like, I wish I could aim higher somehow. But it's going to be the leg shot, and that actually cost his mate his life. That's incredible. Exist manages to get all 3 of them down. He gets 2 frags, but then he stops the other guy from getting out of that bomb, or that explosion, rather. Now it's going to be the aggression play here from Copenhagen Wolves. They want to go straight out onto this upper site. Freiberg's still alive on Dog. He's going to spot out the man on site, and he's actually going to do some pretty good damage. Could pick up a second one, and he gets it. Get Right now trying to lend a hand, and it's going to be crucial, but it's just Fiflaren on the upper. He spotted the last man out by CT Vent. This should be, yeah, Nip's round. No problem at all.
Yeah.
I was about to say it should be Fiflaren's frag, and then Forrest just comes in and
one. I mean, apart from the attempt from Copenhagen Wolves to go for a rush there, which obviously was shut down quite well, especially because they only realized Freiberg was up there a little bit too late. There's one detail about that round that was beautiful, which is that Nico's body actually did fall down the vent at the end. It sort of took a while, but it slowly slid down with the ragdoll. That's a good moment.
It's like so ashamed. He's just trying to crawl into a hole. First one he can find. And there you go. It's the vent.
McLaren, and it's an eco round from Copenhagen Wolves. So NIP are about to equalize the score here. And that, at that point, there's almost no stopping them, I think. Their money is not completely out of control, but it's getting dangerous.
Good play here. Nice try by Kerrigan, trying to get the drop on Fiflar. And Fiflar actually good spray control at the end. Secures the second frag. That was a bit of a risky position for him to be in. Nicely done there by Kerrigan. I mean, if he's counting it, essentially. He's counting it. He's hoping that he's going to catch Fiflar and reloading. nearly as good. But yeah, now it's starting to get a little bit out of hand. 9,000 on Forest, 7,000 on Fifth Like these are starting to look like good numbers that never going to be able to fall back on. If they get into a tough position where they lose 3 guys, 4 guys in a round, now they actually have the bank to be able to re-equip everybody fully, and that's the most important bit here for NIP.
Nico trying to run in. They just want to get the bomb down in this round on the Copenhagen Wolves side, but they're not really going to get a chance to. They will drop Freiburg, and they've also got a second kill on Exist, so if only they could get that bomb down. They're even down towards the B bomb site, but the bomb is still dropped up at A, and that makes all the difference right here. For Farron, the timing is good, and he's going to pick up a second one. And now they could just play it slowly. They have the bomb, but do they realize it? Are NIP even really aware that that bomb is up there? They should be seeing it. Yeah, I think they finally do. So yeah, if Fiflaren knows, and Forrest should be coming out to help him here.
Let's see if Fiflaren spots the last man. It's going to be Forrest, however, with the sick flank on Kerrigan in the vents. And now, crossfire. Perfect crossfire there for NIP to lock down that site at the end. Fiflaren and Forrest working well together. And Fiflaren walking out of that with a triple kill. So good rifle work there.
Yeah, but losing 3 people to just pistols is still... That's scary. So,
yeah, it's scary, but then look, they still have 2 guys above 10k.
Yeah, but the rest have almost nothing. I mean, NIP still gotta be careful. If they lose a round, yeah, the rest, they can force it up, but if they lose 2 rounds, they're ecoing.
Yeah, they're not out of the woods by any stretch. Not sure.
They gotta keep their heads in the game here. That should have been an almost flawless round for NIP.
What? Nico's his op is named I Apologize.
Yeah.
Not bad, not bad. But Nico, we all know you're lying. You're not apologizing, you're grinning.
He's not even a little bit sorry, is he?
No. No.
Maybe he should be apologizing because he's been missing a lot of shots, so maybe, you know, it's more like...
Is that it? Is that the reason why?
Could be. 12-11, and Copenhagen Wolves going for a bit of a standard setup. I like the fact that they have 3 people in towards the lobby and not just like a couple of them, and then the last 2 working outside to try and see if they can either find the pick-off or maybe get down to secret. And with Nico out here, it looks like it's more of a seek and destroy type mission they're on. Get Right will take down Glaive, so that's got to be really annoying. He does get the return, so that makes it all worth it now. Actually,
that does. Giving away the position there. Get Right trying to reposition himself. So now it's Copenhagen Wolves sneaking.
Oh, what? Forest boosted up.
Forest. Yeah. That is a sick position.
Yeah, you can boost up there. Seen it a couple of times already in competitive play, but Copenhagen Wolves not really ready for it, and they just kind of all get shut down.
Who would be ready for that position?
Well, it's happened a few times already. It's one of those things that just, you know, it's like 50 games of nuke in between. Someone does it, and now Nico's just trying to hide with 5 seconds left here. What's really sad is that we didn't get to see him do the boost, because the way it happens is even more interesting.
That's incredible. But I thought that was X-ray. You know, when they're looking up there, I thought it was actually just X-ray. And I was like, oh, that's an interesting position. Let's see it. Yeah, he's just crouched all the way back up here behind the silos.
Yeah.
So sick. And to get a triple kill from that position as well, in such an important round for Copenhagen Wolves. Now we can see the impact that has had on Copenhagen Wolves' money. Nico, of course, holds on to that AWP, but the rest of his teammates not so fortunate. They have to rebuy their rifles, 2 Galils, 2 AKs, and very limited nades. And Get Right playing aggressive. He can't step too close now. He has to be very careful about how he goes about this flank.
He's out here. He sees the gun barrel, and that's an easy kill. Now waiting for the second one, but he can't. Pip will take him down, and Glaive will follow up with a kill. So right now we're still in a 3-on-3, but that's a lot of opportunities now for Copenhagen Wolves to get in here and get something done, and it has to be now. Losing this one would probably mean that they would be forced to eco, and then I'm not sure. NIP are almost taking the first map at that point. Fiflaren trying to play the long game. He's expecting that this will eventually end up in a B push, so he's going to go and hide in Toxic. And actually, a B push would seem very likely for Copenhagen Wolves with those 2 smoke grenades left. I mean, can smoke off one door, smoke off the plant, and then try and go for it. Fiflaren's position can come in really big here for the CT side.
Yep, this is a go-to position, or it was rather for Titan before the team changes. But this is actually a very solid position, because when you're in a 3-man situation like this, you can keep 2 guys on upper, controlling that upper site, and just leave the 1 guy locked into Toxic. And as soon as that bomb plant goes down, if Copenhagen Wolves aren't thorough, they're going to get picked up. And I don't even see the smoke going down on that site. This is going to be a freebie here for Fiflaren, but he jumps the gun. Oh, Fiflaren, that was a huge mistake. He needed to wait for the plant sound. That was. I mean, maybe he misjudged the sound. Maybe he thought that they were going to come up to him, so he had to act first. But you wait for that bomb plant to go down before you actually open those doors.
Yep, that was definitely a big mistake, and he could have also waited for a teammate to come in, because even though Exist was an upper, he was actually right above the vents, which means for him to drop down, and just drop down is the vent, he's going to be there 1 second later, essentially. So there was, yeah, definitely a huge mistiming for NIP and Fiflar, and then puts it at 13-12.
13-12, and now NIP are the ones who still managed to force up, but limited number of nades to go with. Fiflar just kind of going for his work over here on ramp, trying to put some shots into radio, and that's kind of standard, you know, wall bang through the smoke. But Pimp, that's not standard. That is Get Right getting shot to the face, and that is not how this is supposed to go for Nip. Nip have got to be starting to get a little worried here. They could be feeling like they're losing the grip of the situation, you know, just like with against LDLC, where, you know, they lose that entry frag and then it all kind of spins out of control. Copenhagen Wolves are not a team to be taken lightly.
They're definitely not. And they're just a few rounds away here. If they force NIP to eco at any point during the rest of this game, that could be them running away with this map. Absolutely. In spite of everything that NIP has put into it here. Still got 50 seconds left on the clock here, and Copenhagen Wolves, they're hoping that because NIP are a man down, that they're going to take a risk and try and go and poke forward. But right now, the Swedes are playing it kind of safely. Flown here with a good Molotov, but he's still going to go down. He does get the kill on Pimp, and then Forrest is there to pick up one on Glaive. So kind of resets the situation. Now Forrest, 7 bullets left. He's going to get a straight headshot on Carrigan. And Nico, well, that's a free kill, but he doesn't have the bomb, and it's a 1-on-2 with 20 seconds left. And he's getting shot in the back as well. Does actually manage to get out alive for a moment.
Yeah, that's damage he can ill afford to take, though. Flash in, he's going to try and just get his hands on this bomb, but 10 seconds left. He actually doesn't have time to win this round anymore. Like, he can't do anything about this situation. I just kind of hope that he walks around and tries to pick up some nades here. Try to get some gear.
Counter-terrorists win.
I mean,
he's afraid he's going to get picked off by Forrest.
Yeah, it's scary. It's a very scary position, actually. Just stay alive. He's got enough mighty for full nades, actually, so it's not the end of the world.
So, for Flaren, just, you know, at the very end with that Molotov kill, and then Forrest, obviously, with a great follow-up. 7 bullets there. A little bit scary, because if he doesn't get that straight headshot, he just ends up running out of bullets, and things go really bad. And now look at Copenhagen Wolves. They don't want to give the map point here to an NIP. They do force it up without the bomb plant, even. I mean, they save the one rifle. They buy 2 more. See if they can make it work. Quite aggressive movement out of the yard here. And Nico actually going out here really quickly. Is he going to be able to catch anyone? Get Right's there. Flashed in for a second. Grenade comes out. Going to do decent damage. Pistol, though, is enough to take care of him.
Yeah, Get Right. A bit awkward, but Freiberg's going to be able to step it. Putting shots through the roof. Dead on. Freiberg waking up, and when he gets into this position, Freiberg is a force of nature, but there's Pimp picking off Forrest in the yard, and this is not looking good here for Nip. Again, down a man, and they lost their point man from the last round, the guy who stepped in and saved them essentially with the help of Fiflar. Forrest is no longer on this map. It comes down to Exist, Freiberg, and Fiflar to save the day here for NIP and put them on match point.
Nico and potentially in a good position here if he could get in on the backstab. He did the last round, so maybe it's going to work again. Carrigan with a 1 dig, and then Pimp with a follow-up kill on Freiberg, leaving Fiflar here in a 1-on-3. So NIP, they're so close to the finish line, but they're not quite there yet. And they did lose a bunch of rifles in the last round too, so they still got to be careful. I'm not sure if Fiflar should be going for this.
No, he should be backing. I mean, all 3 alive on the site, 1 holding from Squeak as well, so it's just wherever he looks, he's doomed. Like, Fiflar is just going to get caught.
If we bring up the scoreboard real quick, we've got to know how much money
Yeah, this is dangerous.
So I mean, they can have this 1 rifle, Forrest can obviously buy, but the rest can't.
The situation hasn't changed. I mean, Nip, if they eco at any point...
But they should be ecoing in this next round. If they buy up on just Forrest and Fiflaren, I would not be a big fan of it.
Let's see. I mean, Forrest has got 6K in the bank, but the rest of them, yeah, it's really... I mean, Fiflaren could drop a FAMAS if he wanted to for somebody and still have enough money to pick up a flash.
Yeah, I think it would be... I'd rather see them let Copenhagen Wolves... But maybe, I mean, it's not sure,
14, 14.
Maybe you get to 14-14, then just trust in the fact that you're on the CT side, you'll have enough to shut them down then and then win the game. I mean... And who says they can't just win it with pistols here? A lot of speed going into it early on in the lobby here. Flaren with a great pickoff. The 1 rifle saved, but he walks right into that headshot. Pimp. Oh, he was just 1 clicking away.
Pimp is incredible this game. Just saying, he's got to be top fragging right now for Copenhagen Wolves.
Yeah, I think he is. And Nico's going to find Freiberg down here, so this is turning into a really intense game. 14-13. We're nearing the end, and it's only the first map, ladies and gentlemen. We still have Dust 2 coming up around the corner, and maybe even Inferno if it goes to a 3rd one. So, yeah, it's getting close now. Exist 5-7 in hand is going to shut down the bomb, gets a follow-up kill, and this is big for Exist. He's going to go get some help from Get Right out of the courtyard, leaving Glaive. Still got plenty of time, but he's kind of trapped in here. He's going to go look for Forest, finds him, and takes him out.
Yeah, 83 HP left on Glaive as well. 1v1 situation. Get Right over in ramps, trying to work his way through. And does he realize? Get Right still think this is an upper play. He's going to be in the totally wrong position when this bomb plant happens. He has no way of knowing if this is upper or lower.
No, and the great thing is that look how much time he has trying to find a new position. He's going to walk all the way out. Get Right doesn't have a smoke or anything. He's got a flashbang, but only now does he understand, wait a minute, this is the wrong bomb site I'm at. And Glaive is in such a good position right here. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Ooh. If Get Right hadn't been firing, I'm not sure if Glaive wouldn't have walked right into that. He's going to go straight for it. No fake, just keeps defusing, and Glaive is going to walk out and take him out. So that's 14-14. It's been equalized, and NIP, well, they should have enough to force it up here. In fact, they will. But if they lose, they're going to lose the whole map. And same is... well, they buy that AWP, so the same is kind of true for Copenhagen Wolves. It's all on this round.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, money is determining everything here. But Copenhagen Wolves have a better buy than NIP do. That's for sure. Full nades. Nico has that AWP. Rest of NIP, however, limited nades. Famas picked up on Freiburg, so this is not ideal for them by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, Nico, we're looking to him to actually find the entry, but it's going to be Get Right. And Get Right playing a little bit forward here, so that's what we like to see. I mean, this is Get Right in his comfort zone. Not the Get Right who plays from hell, who tries to op or whatever. No, it's Get Right with the rifle up close to Garage and just ready and waiting to leap on Copenhagen Wolves as soon as Copenhagen Wolves decide to push up. And there we go, the smokes to go down.
Yeah. You can tell that Copenhagen Wolves realize he's out here somewhere, but they really don't know if he's in Garage or by CT Red or up in the catwalk outside. It's really difficult for them, and they're wasting a little bit of time. But now they finally do manage to sneak their way down, and they're actually going to get 4 members down, leaving Carrigan over by the hut. So... how is this going to work out for the terrorist side? I mean, once they get down there, if they get down and put the bomb down almost without anyone spotting them, then having Carrigan on the upstairs bomb side is going to be really good. He's going to be able to backstab any CTs coming in to help out. And Get Right, he's a few seconds too late to spot anyone out here.
Yeah, this is a nightmare. NIP have no information.
Oh, Forest, though. This is a really good position. This is going to give NIP so much time to react. Because now they definitely know, all right, the B play is on. Are they going to expect Carrigan? Can they even get in here? Glaive is going to go down immediately. Forest out of bullets. It's going to get dropped. Freiburg will pick up a good kill and Get Right with another one. If Flaren gets dropped by Carrigan, that's finally the match stab coming in. But it might be too late. There's 7 seconds left. 6 seconds. They got to get this bomb down right now. And Pip can't do it. There's no time for it. So even if he hadn't been taken out, they would have been a lost round anyway. So Copenhagen Wolves, well, they lose the round. Then it's map point here for NIP. 15-14.
And this is it, and now the situation. Copenhagen Wolves, no bomb plant, no bonus $800 to go back on, and Pimp, it's Pimp, Carrigan, they can afford to get rifles, but the rest of them, it has to be CZ, it has to be P250, and Nip, they fought tooth and nail on this map, but it's looking like they will come out ahead. It's not done until it's completely, until we're 16 rounds here on the board for Nip, but this is looking like a very strong situation for them. Straight upper rush, I love it, Copenhagen Wolves, no fear, but it doesn't work. Get Right on upper, and they're just cutting them down.
Yeah, good game called, and it's 16-14 for NIP. They come out with